Hello everyone, this is Serenity or Polaris here, and I haven't uploaded a video in a while. Honestly, that's because there's really not that much happening with Kurtzpel until recently, kind of, although we'll get into why this is really not that big of a deal, and kind of just talk about, I guess, where Kurtzpel is right now, the future of it, and all that shit, and, yeah. My microphone kind of sounds different as well. I'm actually at home. I was at college. Now I'm home, and, I think it personally sounds better. I mean, it's literally a better quality microphone. Like, it's an actual microphone. It's not just like my headset microphone, which is what I was using for previous videos. But yeah, anyway, so this video actually came a little bit late, I guess you could say. Um, this video was teased last Friday, I believe, as of when I'm saying this and uploading it, hopefully. And it was team survival. Uh, KOG really likes this idea of like seeing other things that are popular and then trying to execute them at a very minimalist level. And generally they don't work out because of that. We saw this with the original Survival, with it just being, I think, put into the game because, hey, look, battle royales are popular. And then they got rid of it. And then they added fucking destruction. And they were like, hey, there's like MOBA modes in games, so maybe this will be popular. Also, didn't really work out too well. And then they said, like, okay, but what about, oh, I don't know, maybe team survival? Let's bring that back. Or let's bring a survival back, but as team survival, because hey, look at games like Eternal Return or whatever other games there are out there that are like team based. I guess like Apex is a lot of times team based battle royales and stuff like that instead of solo battle royales. And the thing is, uh, sounds great on paper. Maybe it could be a little bit fun, especially if the rewards are worth it. I still don't think the rewards are worth it unless you have a group of people and just queue into it and then, you know, just do whatever. And we'll get into it, the rewards later as well. But let's just take a look a little bit at the video here since I've been talking for a little bit. Well, actually, we'll put it in slow mo. I have it going at 1.5 speed for no reason. But anyway, so Team Survival, as you can tell here, there are 10 teams. However, I want to note there are not actually 10 teams. What do I mean by that? There are 5 teams. 5 of the other teams, to make up the 10, are actually just bots. They're only bots. There's nothing else there. It's literally, you have 5 teams that consist of actual players and 5 teams that consist of actual bots. I don't even know if it's possible that you can get teamed with a bot. Maybe that's like something that can happen. But otherwise, it's literally just 5 teams that are actually people and 5 teams that aren't. So that's why, if you're wondering, if you ever clicked on the custom, the mission card for it, um, it says 10 chasers because it's actually only 5 teams, even though it's 10 teams. It should have been 20 if it was actually 10 teams. But that would be way too many people that would have to queue for this, especially considering the fact that our population for this game is very, very small, okay? Like, very, very small. We're talking, like, I think we average around maybe mid 200s on a good day. But a lot of times you'll see us enter the 100s, and certain times of days, maybe even below 100. So, like, it's just, we don't have a population for this type of stuff. So I don't know why they keep pushing it. They tried pushing, like, these 5v5 modes, turned them into 4v4 modes, and kind of just left it as it is, and then eventually gave up on it. Which is kind of what happened with the destruction. These modes do not need to exist, or I don't think that that should be the focus of the game. Or if they want it to be the focus of the game, you have to put a lot of effort into it. And this is really just rehashing a mode we already had and then just adding a team thing on it. Also, cool fact about this that they put in the update is, let me see earlier. So this is the UI, right? And most of the stuff is the same that you would find in a regular game, except you get a mini map, which is cool, whatever. You have this on the top left. Holy fucking shit, this is the biggest missed opportunity I've ever seen. Well, honestly, not from KOG. There's tons of missed opportunities. This isn't new for them. But, oh my god. How do you put info on your teammate? Not only just their name, because by the way, in PvP right now, or I should have said PvP before this update, you would only see in the top left corner your name and your teammate's name, and that was it. If you went into PvE, you would see your name and then your teammate's name and their health bar, which is this white bar right here. And then in survival, in this recent update, you now see your team or your name, your team's name or your teammate's name, their health, their stamina, their mana. Guess what? None of this exists outside of survival. I don't even understand how that makes any sense. There's no reason, way, shape, or form that you would add this to survival and not add it anywhere else. Like, they even talked about in their Steam like announcement that, like, oh, the difference between this survival is that it's team based, so you really have to focus with the team, which is why they even have like special pings for this mode that you don't see in any other modes, and they have this info, I guess. Well, guess what? That fucking info is useful, or would be useful rather, in literally every other game mode. In fact, it would be more useful. We're already forced to solo queue now in ranked and even normal. Well, you're not forced to match in normal matches, but in ranked you are. You are literally forced to solo queue. So literally everybody you see on the leaderboard, all that shit is decided by them playing solo queue. Okay, why the fuck would you not put this in solo queue? This is more helpful than anything that happens in solo queue right now, okay? Because that info right there could be what tells me whether I need to go in, I need to go out, or hell, if I'm running away or my teammate's running away, I can literally look at their resources and figure out exactly why they're doing that. Oh hell, or oh shit, they have no mana. Maybe, I should go in and peel, or maybe that's why they're running away, because we need to get resources back. I have no stamina. They have no stamina. This shit is very useful to have, because the only thing you can really ever see is your teammate's health bar, and I think you can only see that right now if you even look at them. Because PvE, you still get their health bar, I guess, but I don't even know why they put that in PvE and not PvP. Like, I don't know what it is. They put like a really good idea in survival mode and then just didn't even consider like, oh, should this be anywhere else? It makes no sense that they wouldn't put it in 2v2, especially considering you can't even team party into this. If you're in a party, you cannot queue into team survival, which makes no sense. So they know that it's advantageous to have this information when you solo queue into a mode where you have to work with another teammate to survive, which is basically what you're doing in ranked anyway. Why would you exclude that? At least I guess for PvE it doesn't really matter because you can team party into that, so you can just communicate that way. But these are modes where you can solo queue. That information should be accessible for everyone, regardless of what mode they're in, because it's your teammates. Okay, it's not the enemy. There's not the enemy information. So I don't know. That's so stupid. A little bit of a mini side rant, but this shit is really stupid. And I was really hoping, but kind of expecting. I was hoping that they'd put it in also normal PvP, but I was also expecting that they wouldn't, because why would they? That's too much, or it makes too much sense for them, and they don't like to make sense, so. But anyway, so we have survival here on a new map. It's definitely better than the old survival map, which honestly the old survival map wasn't even really much to begin with, because it was actually just portions of other existing PvP maps together. Like you had Abandoned Ruins Waterway and the other Abandoned Ruins Destruction match or map. And then they would just have paths connecting them. So they literally just took pre-existing maps. Cardia Beach literally is just a portion of the survival map, or the old survival map as well, that they just blocked off certain things and changed the terrain a little bit. So a lot of it was just reusing assets, which makes sense. There's probably reused assets here, but this still looks more original than the old survival map and is a better design. It's much more open and all that stuff. Though notably, there's a lot of cheesing that can happen here. Like, I don't know. There's like a part of the game where it's like, you don't get to outplay like people, and that's why it's like you can't even take this mode seriously even if you wanted to. Like, you can only take it for fun even though it is competitive. One, because again, half of the people in the game are just bots, and you can't not have that happen as far as I'm aware. And two, like previously in old version of survival, you could get these buffs that exist in the game, right? And you'll see in the bottom left here that I'll unpause the video kind of and see if it goes, but in the bottom left, kind of, I don't know if you can see where my mouse is because I forget if I allow it to be highlighted, but in the bottom left, you see three icons. One is for attack, one is for endurance, and the other one is just for like resource regeneration. And there's 3 ranks for them, and so you can increase them up to 3 times for each buff. and then once you reach 3, you're basically maxed out for that one. Also, key hint and or tip for people who play this mode: all buffs heal you. So even if you have all the buffs and you don't need any more, if your health is down, collect buffs and it will heal you. Still a reason to get buffs, because they all of them heal, not just the green ones. That also just the green ones just heal you even more. So get the get all the buffs if you can, if you need it for like not just the buff boss, but for health. But anyway, so we have tiers, if you want to say, of or ranks of these buffs. Previously, that was not a thing. One of the issues that comes up from this is that if you get your max endurance, or well, honestly, max endurance, the resource one is nice. The resource one makes me feel like this is how the game should actually be. But the endurance one is where everything fucking falls apart, okay? The attack one is only your damage. That's the only thing it increases as far as I'm aware. Maybe I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. And so an interesting aspect of this is that break is always the same. Endurance is not. So what happens when you become max endurance? It means that every time you cast a skill, basically, you cannot be broken. If you already had max purple skills, you literally cannot be broken if you cast them while having rank 3 endurance buff. Like, it just doesn't work. I literally, like, what was it? I was playing Shield. Axe player uses Fierce Smite, already max purple, 11.5 bars endurance, but they have, I guess, 2-3 stacks of endurance. I don't even know how many buffs they had. They clearly must have had some, because I countered. My counter hit them, and they were still in purple endurance. Their endurance was literally still purple, like they were glowing purple still. And I was like, what just happened? And it, like, I know it 100% hit them. It dealt damage, they flashed red, like all of that hit. It just didn't break them. That was my most powerful skill on Shield, and it didn't even break them. It literally took me having to ult to break them. There was literally nothing else I could do. You can't dash attack them because, you know, it's standing endurance with rank 3, well, actually I think with rank 2 or higher, tanks all dash attacks. So, and then they just have to refresh their endurance. So they literally can't even be broken by, like, normal commands, really. And then you just have, like, your high break skills won't even break any of their skills as long as they have the endurance buff and cast it at the same time. Like, it just doesn't matter. So there's, like, certain karmas that just do really well, and then others that absolutely do nothing at all. Because if you don't have, like, it's more valuable to have skills with high endurance already than to have skills with high break, because at that point it's just a matter of tanking and dealing damage than anything else, because you're just not going to break people. Like, you're really not going to, and it's kind of annoying. But like, that's why it throws, like, all strategy out the window, because I feel like you'd want to rather poke or literally just tank everything. And then top the fact that you can have the heroic buff on top of all of these rank 3 buffs, and you actually, like, some skills can't even break you while you're standing. Like, breaker skills can't even break you while you're standing, which is just absurd. But that's just kind of, I guess, their point. That's what they wanted to do. I'm not really sure, but I think it becomes not very fun at all. And actually, I can put this on loop. And, like, yeah, I don't know. I just don't think it's a really interesting game mode at all. And then, of course, there's always, well, what about the rewards? Maybe the rewards is enough to get people to stay. And the answer to that is maybe, probably not. It's not fun already, or it's arguable, right? Maybe some people have fun, maybe some people don't. I'm not really sure. I think that there's a lot of cheese and bullshit that happens in this game as a result of just everything, and the fact that the game already has crazy balance, and then they need to, like, mess around with that. Like, I don't know. There's already cheese. I guess I'll say it anyway, because I think, one of the first ones to actually try using it. If you play DS is, like, the best for, I don't even know what the term is in Battle Royales, but for camping and playing super passive, DS is literally the best for that. If you use Demon Mode, which puts you invisible, people cannot see you capture these buffs, or I think resurrect people. You do not become visible when you resurrect or do all that stuff. So literally they have to either camp bodies or guess on buffs whether you're there or not. Otherwise you can basically safely get buffs without anybody interrupting you, because they can't even tell that you're getting the buff in the first place. So you're literally, like, perfectly safe in Demon Mode. There's a lot of stupid shit you can do with that. And so, like, yeah, abuse that if you want. Although, of course, honestly, I don't think DS is really that good outside of that because you just want high burst damage skills in this mode, or really good poke, and if you don't have any of that, you're gonna be kind of stuck. But you know, but rather than that, I just wish that they focused on something else. Or, as multiple people have brought up, put this in customs even. Like, rather than have it be its own mode, put it in customs. Although, I also note my FPS sucks dick on this. Now, I don't have... I'm back on a different computer, and this is arguably, like, part-wise, it's a worse computer, but uh, I still don't think it should be this bad. Like, I mean, it's not terrible. I get, like, 60 FPS, but I should be more because I get way more on regular maps, and there's no reason it should be this bad, and especially because other games I don't think have this issue nearly as much. But of course, it's Kurtzpel, and their optimization is basically non-existent. But again, that's what it is, and I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. Again, the rewards are decent if you get first place. I guess I forgot to mention that. You can get like 500 AP, GP, all that stuff if you win first place. If you win... Now, that only happens sometimes, though, because I won first place and got 410, and then I won second place one time and got more than 410. So my second place ended up actually getting more than my first place, and I don't even know how that happened. Maybe it was because my teammate died, but I think my teammate died on the time I got second place because, well, we both died, and I still managed to get more. I don't know what contributes to it, but it's kind of weird. But I guess as long as you're top 2 or top 1, which is pretty easy to do, it might be worth trying to farm, and just surviving and like at least kill the bot teams. Then maybe you're guaranteed get like 200 or 300. So then you can just farm survival that way. So maybe there will be strats for farming it, although in theory there were strats for farming old survival, because old survival also gave you pretty good AP and GP, and all of that stuff. But like in terms of like unique rewards, it doesn't give you anything. It does help you clear dailies, which is probably the best thing that actually comes from it, except for the fact that dailies don't stack anymore, meaning that you can't clear multiple levels of dailies at the same time. So it kind of isn't that much more effective than just doing a normal deathmatch map, or ranked match. So not really sure. We'll have to see in the long run if this remains popular or if people will actually queue for it by themselves. I suspect we already have such a low population that you'll just have to have like Discord calls or pings or whatever for groups of people to queue up for survival, or type in lobby chat to queue up for survival and hope that they'll join in and do that. But otherwise, I don't think it's going to be a common occurrence. So we'll have to see. But that's about it for talking about team survival. I think it's just a gimmick mode. Would have been much better to put into custom match than just have it as a mission card. And because I mean, we can already support 8 players, and realistically, you only need one more for each side, right? You only need 10 people. I guess you would have to split it up differently, right? Because it's supposed to form teams of 2s. But I'm sure they could figure something out. But I've already heard so many requests for people to say, like, put this in custom match, because it would be way cooler. You could do way more fun things, have tournament stuff, and like this could work way better in custom missions. And having like community driven stuff with it would be way better. But they probably won't do it. Or if they do, it'll be so late that it won't matter. And we'll have to see. We will have to see. But that's about it. I guess for anybody who doesn't know already, though, because I can give this as like a cool little thing, but there is probably a new karma coming soon. So, I mean, you can kind of already anticipate that. There's been a karma every season, and so there will be a new karma coming soon. So I would definitely anticipate looking out for that, and especially if that teaser releases, which could happen this Friday, depending on when I upload it, or next Tuesday, from when I upload this. Should be one of the 2 days that the teaser goes out, and so keep an eye out on that, and I will have to see how that karma plays, but that's about it. So thank you all for watching my rant on the team survival, and I just think that they should make this game more community driven, but because the game's made in Korea, and let's be honest, they have no direct communication with us outside of the Korean population, because they did release the game in Korea, it's just not going to happen. and even like the Korean version of the game is actually, I think, less popular or equally as popular, which I guess is still better since it's in one country and it's concentrated in that area. So if it's the same population as the global one, then I guess that's good or better. I'm not gonna say it's good. It's better than what we have, but it's still pretty bad. Like they only have two channels generally, from what I've seen. Is they said that they'll have two channels that are active, and each channel is supposed to support like maybe a little bit less than 100, like 75 people. So that means that at most they have only a little over 100 people playing at any given time. I think maybe they get the third channel on a good day, but it's not looking good over there either. So we'll have to see. I have no idea what they're gonna do with this game. Uh, they still haven't they still haven't come back with the affinity system, because again, for people who might not have even thought about it, NPCs used to be sitting in lobby. They are no longer sitting in lobby. I presume they'll be making a return in the future. We've actually never even gotten costumes for the recent karmas that have gone out, but we'll have to see. And hopefully the affinity system will make a return soon. Maybe with the new karma, who knows? They also took out raid and didn't replace it with a new one because they're waiting for that, I guess, and this mode is supposed to occupy us until then, maybe. That's why I do wonder if they're just gonna have this mode stay for a little bit and then just replace it with raid, because I didn't realize that they were going to not put in a raid, and then this card is kind of just replacing raid. But be very interesting to see if the next raid boss gets introduced and then this is gone, which would be a little unfortunate, but not that surprising. But again, we'll have to see. Anyway, thank you all for watching. That's enough of the ranting, and enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.